Dang, that was like the longest minute. Anyway,
Why was it
welcome.
completely silent? Where is the music? Like, what's the
I
heck?
know it was like nothing. I'm gonna add some music to that. That was so quiet. It was
Yeah,
just like
I don't like that one, Carlos.
no. I don't-
Me
the other
Ah!
one
either.
he said, I like the 30-second one. I wasn't waiting forever. I'm like, come on. Anyways, welcome again to another episode of East County Voices, and I'll leave it to you guys. I'm still whole minute, man. Telling you, gotta add something to that.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our first show of Black History Month. I am going to read what happened today in history after Miss Patty does her introduction.
Hi, everyone. It's me, mommy, homie, friend, community advocate, combat veteran. Happy to be here. Happy to be with my beautiful community people and leaders. Miss Tamisha Torres Walker said something the other day. I was listening to her on a video that she posted, and she said, leadership ain't for the weak. So I thank you all for being leaders, and shout out to all the amazing leaders out there that speak up and speak out. Hola, everybody.
Hola.
Hola, hola, hola. I want to start with on today, February 5th in 1917. Congress passes the Immigration Act of 1917 to bar entry of Asian, Mexican, and Mediterranean people, poor people, and those with mental or physical disabilities or criminal records. Now, just kind of ironic that in 1917 that happened on this day, and here we are in 2025, and basically we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
We did just have a day with no immigrants on the 3rd where we protested. No one basically did any shopping, school, anything. And we've had all kinds of protests. There was a protest today in Concord, which I'm really proud of the students walking out and protesting large numbers.
Right.
And then obviously I'll let Patty talk about what happened in Antioch and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Carlos can fill us in too. Shoot, there was a lot of advocates out there. Someone in the community, I saw a flyer. I was like, oh, it's a gathering. Let's do it. And it was beautiful. Somebody had brought out their big old diesel truck. It was a caravan. It was raining. It was raining, and families and community. And we were driving down, and there were families looking through the windows, coming out of their homes, like clapping, fist up. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh. It was definitely another historical day of community power in the city of Antioch. I wasn't at the Pittsburgh one, so I'm gonna bounce it over to Don Carlos. How was that?
Did you go to that one, Carlos?
I went to all of them.
Oh, Bay Point.
I'm tired now. I want to lay
Concord,
down.
Bay Point, Antioch.
Devin went to
You know what? I didn't go to Bay Point. I didn't go to my bad. I was so tired. I was editing the other 3 protests. So there was Antioch, Pittsburgh, Concord, and then after Concord there was Bay Point. And then we got another Pittsburgh coming up Thursday. And then another Bay Points or my bad guys, West Pittsburgh on Sunday. So yeah, it was a lot, but the Pittsburgh one was held. Everybody met at the courthouse, and then they just took it to the streets. And I know I had some people asking why did they meet at the courthouse? It wasn't open, but actually, that's one of the busiest. If you know Pittsburgh, that's one of the busiest spots right there.
Mm-hmm.
To get for anything. I know other churches that go there and preach right there on the street too. So, it's a real busy spot in Pittsburgh. So and it was raining that day too. So I had bought a big old umbrella and everything. And, I was recording it. They they took off from that corner and then they went over Highway 4, the little bridge, and then they just spread across over that bridge. They stayed on that little where you're right over Highway 4 and just stayed there. You know,
Mm.
some kind of went to the middle, and then the police were like, you know, hey, for your safety, you know, there was a lot of the younger ones, you know, they were just telling them, hey, for your safety. They weren't the police at none of these events didn't try to stop it at all. And then even in Concord, I went live on Instagram, and I was surrounded by cops, you know. And then because they came up to me first. I'm gonna have the camera right, you know, right there, and they walked up. There was like 5 of them, and they were like, "Are you
The organizer?
organizer?"
They
Yeah,
always ask that.
they do. And then I was like, "Nope."
Wasn't me.
And then they just kept saying, "Hey, you know, we don't have no problem with you guys." My bad. I'm over here talking.
No, that's good.
I gotta show the thingies. There you go. Hi.
Hey, Camila, beautiful Camila.
But no, everybody was like cool. But then again, you know, in Contra Costa County, it seems like we're getting all these reports from like Antioch PD. I think was the first one to step up to say, hey,
They were.
we ain't helping any of the ICE people, you know. So
Yeah, they did. They put out
it
a
was kind of
statement.
cool. And
Brentwood put out a statement.
And so did Pittsburgh.
Yes, I love that.
Yes, they
love that.
did. My favorite
Concord
part
didn't
is
act like
the
it at
rig.
all.
My favorite part is the big rig. I'm partial to big rigs. My grandfather started a trucking company in '69. My daddy drove. My brothers drove. I love big rigs. I hope every protest we have a big rig. Whoever it is, shout out to the red big rig. I love you. Come to all the protests. Everything we do.
In Concord, it was. Oh yeah, you're right. The Antioch one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was so neat. I cheated y'all. My bad. I was in my van. I didn't walk.
Right.
So what she's talking about is where they met at on 18th Street and A. They had walked from the police station to 18th Street and A, and then they were coming back. So I kind of like I went around so I wouldn't be trapped behind them because I wanted to get there to film when they came in. And it wasn't too many people, but then when they got there was like way more people, and they had a big rig following them, doors wide open, and they're inside, and you know,
whole caravan.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people just honking,
and guess who came out? You keep forgetting to say who came out. Lamar.
Oh, he was
Lamar. Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah,
he's always been for the people, so
always.
You know, I was like, okay, I see you. You're not elected now, and here, but even elected or not, Tamisha was out there too. I saw her.
Yeah,
out there marching.
Lamar.
Me and Devin was out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jose Cordon, our poet laureate.
And that was a trip because I had talked to Jose, and he was like, "Man, you know, I wish I would have known his event." And I always say poetry slam, but it's not a poetry slam because it was a I don't know, it's a poetry gathering. Yes, he always tells me, but I always forget. But he came and he had an event, and he came to that rally, the event first over there, and then he had said his his poem, and it was just beautiful, and I was like, I had to record that. I posted that on our YouTube channel.
Oh, I gotta reshare it. I think I saw it. Yeah, we need to share that because it's the voice. It's spoken word.
Yeah, right? Thank you, Devin.
Shout out. What's up, primo?
Come on, primo. And I'm sorry I didn't make it out. Portia's brother's funeral was Friday, so that's where we were.
Condolences to the family.
Yeah, so condolences to Antron Busby's family, his mom, his sisters, his brothers, his babies. So that's where we were on Friday. So yeah, I had to rest.
Understandable.
But I knew you guys had it.
Yeah.
We did not have
the team
diesel truck at the Concord event,
Mm.
but we had I don't know, we want to call it a monster truck there. It was
Nice.
a big white one, and it had a horn. Those horns, the ones that you buy, and they're from a train.
Mm. Oh, I love it.
Was it the one? Was
Because-
it the one with the green stripe? Was it white and like lime green? Because there's a guy out here that has a big white truck and it's got like lime green, and he uses it to, let the youth have fun. And
no, I didn't. No, it wasn't that one.
okay.
It was a pure white one with a Mexican flag in the back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And his horn was so like everybody knew what the sound was around that truck, but they stood by it anyway. And every time he would do it periodically, he scared the crap out of the people in the front that was standing in front of it. It was heck of funny. They were like, and there was an older lady there too. I kept feeling bad because she jumped every time. You know,
Poor
she didn't know when he
kid.
was going to do it,
Mm.
but she still stayed there. Stood her, you know. She said, "Puede."
Carlos, you said something important about they didn't stop us. They didn't stop the people.
No, the
Like-
police were good.
So just so the community knows, like, it's our right to protest.
Yeah,
We can go, and there's levels of protesting. You can wear a shirt, you can decorate your car, you can do a caravan, you can shut it down. There's a lot of things you can do. Now, there's violence, there's peaceful non-violence. But the important thing is to be heard, be seen, and do what's right. Like, you see an ambulance, you see somebody coming through, you're blocking traffic. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that.
yeah. And then
you
some
know-
people were saying that like they were even doing donuts and all that there. That's not, you know.
Where?
It's a form of protest, but then unfortunately it can cause, it can cause an accident. You can hurt someone. So, by all means, y'all protest, be out there, use your voice, organize, and do it. Be
Right.
heard, be seen, but do so safely.
Yeah, be safe, you guys.
Yeah.
Safety's always first, you know. At the end of the protest, we all want to go home safe
Right.
and knowing that, you know, we did our part, you know. So
Do y'all have a favorite style of protest? I got one, but I want to hear if y'all have any favorite.
style. There's a
yeah.
style.
There is a style. There's one that we got down pretty good here in the city of Antioch.
You know us. We like to be loud and proud with it.
Yes. Yep. Like a rally.
Like, want me to get the bullhorn?
Yes. Right. Rallies are my favorite because they are or marches to a rally, because you march, you go to a symbolic place like a courthouse, a police station, a city hall, community park, the place that's violating rights or disturbing the peace or making the community feel, the public feel a certain way. Like those are the best places to do so. Officials' homes. I mean, if there's officials, I've seen that. Absolutely.
I'm big on that. Take it to their front door.
Podcast.
Okay. Take it to the front. Okay. I like that. Direct, addressing the issue face to face. I love that. How about you, Carlos? You got a fave?
I just said, I was like, podcast.
Okay.
I mean, I'm more media, you know, so it's like if I'm going to be at the protest, I'm going to be the one filming and letting people know and spreading the word, you know.
Videographer.
Yeah.
You're doing the chronological history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm documenting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
History.
documenting and
speaking of history
with the word.
Yeah, no, and you do amazing at it, Don Carlos. If we have technology at our disposal and you're making it happen. But yes, I learned throughout studies that, remember the big famous march that MLK crossed the bridge and they got attacked. There were photographers on scene. Had those photographers not documented what was going down, the rest of the nation would not have known.
Right.
So let's say that technology is a powerful tool to raise awareness and shed light on civil and human rights violations. So
Mhm.
always have your camera ready, cameras available, because
You never know.
you never know.
And since you brought up MLK, I'm going to bring up a tidbit of history that a lot of people also don't know about MLK. When he started talking about running us our money because we're old reparations, that's when they said, yeah, we're going to have to silence him because now he's going to get them all riled up to want money. That's when they set in motion the plan to assassinate him. Everyone seems to think that when he was shot on that balcony that he died, and he absolutely did not die. He lived. He made it to the hospital. They were working on him in the hospital. There was a doctor who came in with agents who smothered him and killed him. They made everybody get out, and then they killed him in the emergency room. So, and the reason why it's known is because the last surgical nurse who was on her way out turned around and watched them do it before she left the room. So everybody wants to show that fake love, like they love MLK. Oh, he was peaceful and he this and that and yada yada. Stop it, because y'all didn't like him. I remember people saying he was a communist and all these things. I remember all these negative things I heard about him growing up. And of course, they hid the part that they murdered him in the hospital, that he would have lived had they left him alone. But, they couldn't have him want to march for money.
Yeah. So. History matters.
Yes, it does. Very much so. So, yeah, that's, and then rest in peace to Dennis Richmond. Passed away today.
Oh, KTVU
anchor.
Yes. Damn.
About Martin Luther King. I posted it on my page, Devin.
And it's not shared. It's not shared. There's so much that is not taught.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
it's a real lot.
But as advocates and as artists and as we can do it, and we will do it in our little corner that we live, and always honoring the leaders that fought before us, beside us, and because we can't let history continue to repeat itself, which we're actively seeing, because like you said, like they went into his hospital bed and smothered him. And then we have, this just reminded me of the man that was in the jail. He was in the hospital. He was in the hospital and they beat him.
Yeah, that
was it was the whole group. It had to have been like 7 officers. What state did that happen?
I don't remember. I have it. I just don't remember. But that it was really hard to watch because they were kicking him and all that stuff, and he's handcuffed and like he's in the infirmary, so obviously he doesn't feel well. And then that's when you decide to beat him and kick him and kill him. So yeah, it was pretty hard to watch that. So everything about it kind of flew out of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking. And just because someone's in jail doesn't mean you treat them like trash. Just like someone's unhoused, it doesn't mean you treat them like trash. Like, I don't understand this mentality of you act like you just throw people away, because you don't throw people away. They're not garbage. Absolutely. So
we're humans. We are humans living in this crazy world, but people like you all make it better. Our community makes it better. The leaders that are here making history. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm just so thankful for the leadership that we have in places, because it is not for the weak, man. The attacks come left and right, no matter what, to try to dim light, but we can't let anyone try to dim our lights. And we shine bright like diamonds. Somebody said I give hot dog water vibes. Not gonna say any names, but like that's a new one. I give hot dog water vibes. And that's what haters do. Haters are gonna hate. you know.
Okay, I'm gonna know because you must smell like hot dog water if you want to. If you know what it smell like, because I don't
I'm
know.
tripping. Who uses water to cook hot dogs?
That's so immature. Like, how old are we? Is that high school going on?
Right.
Or what? That sounds like something a whole child would say. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. But keep protesting, keep advocating, no matter what curveballs people try to throw, you know.
Oh God, my head.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. They must know what hot dog water smells like because we ain't even eating
Hot
hot dogs
dog
over here. So
water.
what you talking about? Oh my gosh. Oh Lordy.
¿Qué más? Black History Month. There's so much that it is American history. Black history is American history.
Right.
Right.
I'll put the screenshot on my Facebook.
Yeah, you need to. I mean, it's slavery is white history and black history is how we survived it, and that is a fact. I saw that quote and I posted that quote that somebody wrote, and that is the fact. Slavery is American history. Black history is we survived it because we're still here. They've been trying to get rid of us forever. I also posted on my page about the fact that, because I've been telling people about this forever too, and people don't believe it, that we would have had universal health care in this country, but white people didn't want black people to get it. That's why they don't have it. Every time they brought it up, they said no, because black people will get it. So
and survive. It's in their strategic plan.
Because they expected us to die off and die and not be here. We were literally supposed to be slaves and nothing else. We were never supposed to live beyond being slaves for them. So since we slaves, well, let's figure out how to kill them all. They should get diseases and die.
And then test diseases.
Yep.
On.
Yep.
Right? That happened.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
They would I remember they were testing out
syphilis.
That one, yes. And then there was a woman that it's just so dark and sad, and
the one who they used for her blood and all kinds of things,
surgeries, and not using
oh, thank you, Portia.
Not using when you numb people.
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard. It's dark history.
Do we know why they chose February as Black History Month?
Well, they say because I can't remember his name at the moment, because he made a Black History Week, basically. So it just turned into an entire month. I still feel like it's because it's the shortest month of the year.
That's what I was thinking.
Him to have that.
Yeah.
I still feel that way.
They gave you the shortest month of the year.
Yeah.
Or us, because that's
right.
But anyway, you all right, Miss Patty?
Yeah, I'm just when I did my studies on the on reparations, that was my thesis on reparations, and on the 40 acres and a mule, and then I had to read and I listened to and absorbed everything, documentaries and books, and listened to old audio clips, the new Jim Crow, the book, and it just reminded me of it's just, it makes it's sad. That's the fight. That's the reality of the injustices, and just, we don't see it every day. I mean, we see it every day in the environments around us because it's what the system created. We're the products of generations and intentional forms of oppression and mass incarceration against humanity. Okay.
I know. It's a lot. It's okay. Breathe it out.
Yes. The native folks.
Henrietta, thank you. That's her name, Devin. Henrietta Lacks. That's who you were talking about, Patty. And I tagged you on that, Devin. So just go look at your tags because I tagged you on the one about Martin. But yeah, they used her as a guinea pig to, figure out all kinds of things. I mean, just like, for instance, when they wanted to use for the first time, when women get gynecological exams, Black women were the guinea pigs for the torturous things that they used to, perfect it for everyone else. So it's just so much. It's so much. It's not even funny. My whole thing is you don't even have to talk about every single thing. You can literally just say a few things. They fed our babies to alligators. They literally used our babies for alligator bait. That's enough right there. And then the Devil's Punch Bowl. People don't know about concentration camps, that when slaves were freed, that they basically rounded up all these free people and threw them in this concentration camp and used to throw them in a big gaping hole and kill them. Like, there's thousands and thousands upon thousands of people in this open space in Mississippi where the peaches grow that no one eats because it's littered with blood of the ancestors. So, yeah, it's a lot. And still they still hate us and still want us to just die. And it's like, we're literally just trying to live.
Yeah.
I know it is, Rena.
Mississippi, I've been there.
Yeah. Me too.
Shreveport, Fort, and Louisiana. Oh, Shreveport, Louisiana. Mississippi was, I think it was Fort Polk or Fort something, some military base. And I definitely saw spirits out there.
Okay.
And the energy is just deep. And residual energies. I'm a firm believer of that. And but it's our history. And then the natives that you remember in Canada.
And that's our family too, because all of us have Native Americans in our family. So know, going on.
Indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
it's very common to go to powwows and see, like Black folks there dressed in regalia and and dancing when it's time for all tribes dance, or if they're if it's all men, or women, they go up there and they represent. It's beautiful. So you see, it's real common. It's common native in native land and also in Mexico. And I've been seeing a lot of people realize that the first Black president was in Mexico. It was Vicente Guerrero. And I was watching TikTok and you can see this look on their face, like, we thought it was Obama, but then they they're showing the picture of him and all that too. And then how we had what was going on was the Spaniards were going through Mexico with the Africans, and Mexicans were just killing the Spaniards and freeing. They stayed there. So it's real common to see African American or in Mexico everywhere, speaking Spanish and dancing our dances and all that,
Yeah, because that's the history that needs to be told. Because unfortunately, like Patty always points out, there's a lot of people who forgot who they are and their roots and all that good stuff. And the fact that, like I say all the time, we're all the same. We're all brown people. We're all brown. Yeah. We're all brown. We're all the same people. We're all in the same boat. We all have the same struggle. We all have the same fight. They're oppressing all of us. They don't want any of us here. They don't care about any of us. They try to put us against each other because they know that we're stronger together. We've always fought together. As you just told, they killed the Spaniards and freed the slaves. Like, hello, we've always been together as one. So it's just America that divides everybody.
Right.
And then the gangs that were created. People had to survive.
Yeah.
That was the outcome.
I didn't call them slaves because they were still prisoners.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that's my point of view. You know,
Mm.
so but the lucky ones that were able to stay in Mexico and stayed there.
Mm.
Even the United States, they had that treaty, and then they were like, give us all the African people, and Mexico was like, no.
Oh yeah.
So,
That's why they have such a disdain for Mexico.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, we didn't put
Mhm.
up with it then, and we ain't putting up with it now.
Exactly. Just like Mexicans ain't going nowhere. That's what MAGA means. MAGA. Mexicans ain't going anywhere.
Mexican American.
You need to get shirts and hats. I'm telling you, that says MAGA. Mexicans ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
I want to share something with you guys.
yeah.
While you continue about histories of protests,
Mm.
because it's so much. But from my studies, I have a little bit of the history of the United States. Let me see if I can share this real quick. Share screen, and I want. Sorry. Nope. I'll try again later. Y'all continue. I'm gonna find it.
No worries. I just realized that when I gave my condolences for Antron Busby, I forgot to mention his wife. So please forgive me. Yeah, please. Condolences for Doe, because it's very, very extremely, extremely, extremely hard for her. So the entire family, wife, children, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, everybody. Everybody. All the loved ones. He was very much a San Francisco legend. He was
Let me
very
know when you want to put that up, buddy.
There were proclamations at his funeral that he received from the city of San Francisco. He did a lot of work in the community. He was big in the community. He did a lot. So just have to, because that is Black history also.
Yes, so. Can't carry on his legacy and the fights.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's ready, Carlos.
Ready?
Don Carlos. Yep. Just so folks know, and don't be afraid of protesting, because who can protest? Anyone of age, race, sex, assemble peacefully and protest. Because there's countries where you can go straight to jail. You can get shot for violating a certain religious right in a form of protest, like the women that wear their hijabs. There's been women that have wanted to protest and then they take it off and then they end up in jail. Things like that, so subtly. But here in the beautiful United States of America, with the dark history that it has, let's never forget the people before us that fought hard to make change. So we have the no, please don't report us for being so woke. But the Boston Tea Party we got. Can I make this bigger? No, huh?
My bad, y'all.
Okay, Boston Tea Party, 1773. Women's suffrage parade, 1913. Civil rights protest events that even after slavery was abolished in 1865, African Americans had to fight for equality for many years to come. We are now in the era of police accountability and many other things, where many people of color are disproportionately discriminated against and are treated inhumanely. That's a fact. History of protests continue that there is a clear absence of all racial injustices in the history books of our current education system. And for that reason, we encourage anyone to look into these following events and leaders that shaped our nation to overcome many unjust obstacles: the Jim Crow laws, World War II and civil rights, Rosa Parks, Little Rock Nine, Civil Rights Act of 1957, Woolworth's lunch counter, Freedom Riders, March on Washington, Civil Rights Act of 1964. Isn't that interesting that they had it in 1957, but
Right.
there was still discrimination, period.
Right.
And we're going to keep Bloody Sunday, Voting Rights Act of 1965, civil rights leaders assassinated. That happened.
Mhm.
Incarcerated. Broken families. The Black Panthers deserve there's a big debt owed to the work.
Oh boy. Is
Fair
there
Housing Act. That 1968, but somehow I've heard of families here in the city of Antioch that could not purchase homes because they were discriminated against and were not sold homes on certain parts of Antioch.
way beyond the 60s?
And these are just 3 movements that had an impact on the society with legislation passed to protect people and their rights. But these are more movements that went down. 2020, Black Lives Matter, that was 26 million. That's the power of people. And there was a big fight against it. And you know how people, they're rooting and looting and this and that. And people were afraid for a while to even protest because they were like, oh, well, they're going to, but no, let's keep protesting. All right. That's all. Oh, and then there's more quotes of Alice Walker, Madeline K. Bright, John Lewis, Martin, these leaders, these were leaders. We are leaders here. Let's continue. Okay. Sharing over.
They forget that when there's protests that they put antagonists in there on purpose. There's always someone to disrupt movements. Doesn't matter. Even in all movements, there's always disruptors. There's always someone placed there to mess up everything that's going on. And then the misconception about the Panthers and the things they don't get credit for is they started the breakfast program. They're the ones that started WIC. They did medical. They did, feeding of children and adults. They did everything. Schools, protected everybody, protected the neighborhoods. And as Carlos knows, the Brown Berets were part of that with them. When they went to the state capitol, they went up there and they were purposely given the wrong information of what room to go into so that it made them appear to be aggressively going with weapons somewhere they shouldn't have gone. That was done on purpose, just like all the other stuff done to them, all the people put in to infiltrate and cause them an issue. The fact that you're slipping someone a roofie basically so they can be asleep so you can kill him in his sleep. I don't know how you demonize people that you criminalize. It's crazy that they were the biggest threat to the United States and all they were doing was protecting us, and the communities were doing just fine. And it's because they started going international and they couldn't have that. And they had, allies. So they had to put a stop to it. But yet you never once said that the KKK is the biggest threat to America, and they're still in existence today.
Look, if we were to go to the Capitol right now, we were going to go storm this Capitol with weapons and arms and throw feces on the walls like those dirty people did. We'd probably, what the hell? But that's the difference of supremacism in some spaces and versus the people. White supremacism is a root of injustices.
Thank you. Yeah, because they protected everybody. Exactly.
Fed the people. Protected the people.
Exactly.
But we're not gonna stoop down to domestic terrorism as others have been doing that for like a very long time.
Ever.
We're gonna win with love and power and educating our people and raising awareness and never forgetting the history and the bloodshed on our soil.
Mhm.
Teach
And I
me
have
that.
to give a shout out. I'm so sorry. One more thing before I forget. I have to give a shout out to my brother, Brian Washington, because Brian is the one who has he's sent me so many books on Black history. It's not even funny. And he sends me a calendar every single year without fail. And I have all these Black history facts from day one to the end of every single thing that's happened here, and I love him for it. And I just want to make sure that he knows that. I give him his props all the time, but I just want everybody to know that, yeah, he does that every year, every year. And that's why I have all the Black history facts also on a calendar.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Speaking of calendars, colonizers took over the lands in Mexico, the Aztec nations, and destroyed many of their artifacts and calendars and information.
They did.
And it was a thriving civilization. Yeah, they ate each other. There was some
Sacrifices.
but
Sacrifices.
to strip people of their culture and
Right.
history, no, we are not. And then certain states that want to strip schools of teaching history.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I mean, they need to stop acting like they're so self-righteous and better than anybody, because they're the most savage out of anybody. So it's crazy that colonizers call people savages. Well, y'all are the savages, because you guys are the ones going around wreaking havoc and destruction everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. So leave people alone. How about that? There's this one, I can't remember where it is, but I remember reading about or hearing about this village that's somewhere in the world, and any outsider that comes to that village that is not melanated, they kill them.
Yeah.
No questions asked. No, I don't care what you're here for. There is no conversation. There is no, you die, period. Now, if you're melanated, you're good to go.
Oh my God.
No, really. No, they're for real with it. Because they're like, what you're not getting ready to do is come here and do what you've done everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening.
It's sad. Scary. But good for them.
Yeah.
Protecting their lands and their people.
Well, they have to.
Sheesh.
Because we need to have you. No, you don't need to do nothing. We're fine.
And then what's sad is there's ideologies that exist within our mental health departments, with people that have these ideals of blaming the victims for these systemic forms of oppression.
Mm-hmm.
And then
See,
I listened to one that she left a voicemail on Councilwoman Tamisha.
I wish we could hear that voicemail.
I'm gonna see if I could find it, but
Yeah.
this is modern day. This is a danger to our babies when you have people that cannot empathize and understand how we got here, why our family is broken, why is there so much pain and trauma in communities. And
she's a psychotherapist, correct?
The woman claimed to be un momento. Let me find it.
Okay. You guys hear the helicopter? Here it is again, flying around. Why is the helicopter flying around in the dark consistently, around and around and around every night?
I'll tell you. Oh, it's consistent?
Yes.
What time is it?
Almost 9. It's all the time. That's when it starts, about after 8, when it's nice and dark, and then it flies around forever. I don't know what they're out there doing, but this is an every night thing.
I found it.
Yay.
I didn't get permission to share this, but it is online, and to raise awareness of the danger that our communities face when you have people like this being therapists and not understanding how we got here. But just so people are aware, this is to raise awareness
Yes.
And maybe somebody can identify the voice out there. I don't know. All right, here we go. Let me know if it's too loud.
Voicemail. I'm gonna play it now. Hi, Tanisha. I'm commuting and was listening to your interview concerning law enforcement. No law enforcement, no freedom, which means children, disabled, autistic, single moms, elderly are victims of crime. I hear you talk about wanting to bridge trust with law enforcement. Slandering law enforcement doesn't build trust. I hear you talk about the civil rights of Black and Brown. The civil rights of law enforcement are important as well. And if I were you, I would focus on the families.
That's a threat.
You're talking about basically how disappointed, and basically you're saying that they're racist. Really talk about people within their own family that have abandoned them. The fathers of African American men and brown men, young men, the fathers that have abandoned them, the fathers that are incarcerated, the mothers that have abandoned them. My education is in child psych. When we look within and get to the source of the problem within the nucleus family, there's a lot more freedom. If a Black and brown person is committing a crime, it's not that law enforcement are racist or discriminating. Just because somebody has the colors. Wait. There's a part 2. Wait.
There's a part 2.
I'm already done. I'm over it already.
You must have gotten disconnected. I would ask you to look internally within yourself at your discrimination and racism towards white people, because I grew up in Los Angeles, and some of my best friends were African American.
Oh, here we go.
That's
the racist line.
And let's not judge law enforcement. Interview them. Ask them if they're racist. If they get a call and someone's committing a crime and they just happen to be African American, doesn't mean that a person is racist. That's completely ignorant. And you're causing division among African American and white people in your community, and that harms your people right there. That harms your people. If you love your African American sisters and brothers, you would teach them respect for law enforcement and to bridge peace and unity between law enforcement and African American people in your community. Help the families, help the children, rather than slander people who would sacrifice their life, give up their life for complete strangers. And even you, if you were in danger in the middle of the night and someone was trying to rape you, it didn't matter your color. That officer would step up and help you no matter what. So please look at this real.
Thank you, because
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that part she must have not seen.
Yeah. For her to even. Okay, know what?
It's a thing. There are people that are so blind to the reality of this.
Slander the cops at all, like.
And then coming from LA too, you know, it's like she totally forgot about the Rodney King video and so, you know what I mean before him, you know,
if they're committing a crime, first
like,
of all,
what part of LA is she from? Malibu or
right?
We'll never know. She called private. Didn't state her name.
Of course she did. Like, you could have kept that conversation to yourself. Famous line I have. Exactly. I was like, there's that line. I have Black friends, so I'm not racist. But yet somehow Tanisha's racist when she's not slandering any police at all. She's never done that. Never.
Shout out to our Caucasian people that are not Black or brown, that are just friends with everyone. Friends with humanity, and don't have to say, oh, my best friend's brown or Black. right? It's
Right.
the line. So
Yeah.
shout out to our people that don't
the
have
non-racist people.
the non-racists out there, because
Yeah.
we're human, the non-racist humans out there.
And for that matter, you never hear us saying, "I have a white friend."
Huh? Right? When do we do that? Oh well, you know, my white friend Becky. We used to
Oh,
drink Kool-Aid together. Like the fuck are you talking about? My black friends, lady.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That's a
a
dead
real
giveaway.
ideology that exists in racists, or a gluttony. They're ignorant to the reality, ignorant to the fact. Like,
Well, she's the one that's ignorant for sure. Calling Denise ignorant.
absolutely.
Like,
Intentional ignorance, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sad.
I don't know where she got that. She was slandering the police, but okay.
It's not
Again.
slander when the police are doing the shit.
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Using their
And
power.
oh lordy.
My question is this somebody that knew her? Because how'd she get her number?
So from my understanding, she was on an interview online, radio interview, and then this woman pulled over on the side of the road and called her. The thing is, these people know how to get phone numbers. It's easy. Just like when they called me to say, "Oh, I'm gonna bash your brains on your side," and stated my home address. I'm gonna bash your brains on your side. They can find numbers. I mean, we could find their, but we don't have time for that. We don't do Jim Crow era threats and intimidation tactics.
And we don't play games, and we don't take threats lightly. So we're not getting ready to be sitting here playing like that.
Nope.
Wow. Trip.
Cut it out. Sorry.
Yeah, so if anybody recognizes the voice from around the bay, if she sounded familiar, please reach out, because our babies aren't safe. Somebody that blames a victim, if a child is getting some kind of therapy because maybe their father or grandfather was incarcerated because Yaniok police planted drugs in their home or something like that. No. But blame the victim. She's blaming victims.
Absent fathers. Okay, well, there's a lot of absent fathers because they've been murdering them. While kill Philando Castile right in front of his baby. So hello, what are you talking about? Age. You know, it's just crazy to me. People see stuff on TV and then they think that this is what everybody is like. Like you put, it's crazy how you want to put all black people in one box, but yet don't put all the police in one box. No one's doing that. And I don't understand. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you say. No one is talking about actual police that are out there honorable and doing their job. And
shout out to the good police out there.
Because
I have good officers.
We say it all the time. We got family and friends that we love dearly. So what is it that you're not getting? Because we're only talking about these police officers that adorn the badge so they can do harm, and that's what they're doing, and they like doing it. They're sadistic people. That's all we're talking about. So I don't know what they don't understand because they can't hear it.
We want higher standards for our community. We want our community to feel comfortable and to be here. There was the mothers continue to come out and speak their anger and frustration. And at the last Police Oversight Commission, her name, I don't even want to say her name because she's so afraid. They terrorized her, and in weird Jim Crow era ways, like throwing bricks through her windows, or she's got a story to tell. All of the grieving mothers and victims of the police brutality out here, and not just here. This is everywhere
in America.
But in our little corner here, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a whole lot. Antioch has more than enough for the entire country, and that's the sad part. I mean, everybody knows, everyone from Pittsburgh and whatnot, everyone knows Antioch's a sundown town. They're trying to take it back to sundown days. Even when my aunt lived there in the 80s, she would say, I wouldn't go out after dark in Antioch. And she lived there. So this is the 80s. So, you know,
racial profiling is a real thing. Profiling, intentionally arresting.
Yeah, you don't have to be committing a crime. You just breathe. You're black and breathing. You could be walking across the street on a green light in a crosswalk, and they'll say, hey, you're jaywalking. And you get the hell beat out of you or whatnot because you were jaywalking, even though you weren't.
And then mothers back in the day, black mothers, they were told they couldn't work. Then they were like, okay, I'm going to stay at home. Then they said, oh, you can't stay at home. You have to, like, they would create policies and laws to continue to oppress families. That's a fact. There's so many ways that they did it.
I know. It's sickening. It's really sickening.
Let's end it on a good note. You got this, Nicole. Lead us on. Let's talk happiness and power to our people. And I don't know.
I like the fact that everybody's finally coming together to do some great, like, for instance, Target. Since Target decided to roll back their DEI, which is the craziest thing to me. Everybody knows I've always been a big Target shopper. I have called it Target and loved it all my life. But guess what? No more Target. And I'm glad I never got a credit card. So you'll never see us again. And I'm glad your stores are empty. And I'm glad that we're hitting you in your pockets. And I'm glad that you're going to be, I don't know, closing doors that you should close because you're losing millions and millions of dollars every day because you thought it wasn't important for brown people to be represented. Well, I should say non-melanated people, because it's not just brown people, because if you're rolling back DEI, that's affecting not just black people, but mostly black people and mostly Spanish speaking people, which everybody thinks it's only Mexican people. And it's
disabled.
So many different Spanish speaking people in the world. So yeah, I'm glad Targets are empty. Costco's not empty though, y'all. All right, jaywalking is no longer illegal. So there you go. Keep that
in our area though, right? Or was that federal?
Portia, or is it everywhere? But yeah, no Target, no Sephora, no Walmart, no.
I'm gonna close my card. Thank you for reminding me. I'm just gonna go pay that off real quick and be like, bye. And it's a protest, people. This is a way that we can protest and boycott.
Protest, guys. We don't give money to people who don't respect us. I have never had a problem. I will turn around and walk right back out. I don't mind it. I don't support places that don't support me, period. I don't have money to throw. And even if I did,
and for that matter, let's support small businesses.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Black-owned businesses, just like how I try to promote businesses here in Pittsburgh. Like, what's the one I said? Dosetta Sanchez, the party store here in Pittsburgh. Those women are great. They have everything you need. Go over there if you need something for parties. There's also Portia has a member right there on Atlantic.
Right on Atlantic. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cielo Supermarket. They closed down on the day without an immigrant. They closed their doors that day. Let's go support
I drove by there, recorded real quick.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and someone posted, someone said on that
immigrant business.
Well, another place was open. I'm like,
the Middle Eastern businesses, Kabul Market, small businesses, immigrant businesses.
In California.
So California, jaywalking is no longer.
Well, probably because love the food.
Yeah, see, the food at Cielo.
What did it take to get that policy to end the jaywalking? They didn't just magically poof. No, people organized. People asked for this.
Well, probably I know that I saw a video of a guy in Sacramento who actually was not jaywalking, but like I said, the cop bounced out on him and basically, had a whole tussle because he was jaywalking, which he wasn't. He literally crossed the street. He was just a black man walking. And that's the kind of things that happen. And we try to explain that to people, but they seem like they don't understand that. And it's like, there's a lot of demons out there walking around with badges on. And people need to understand the history of police. They were slave patrol. That's what they were set up to do. And a lot of them still, that's what they do.
Well,
So,
they'll be
yeah.
held accountable out here in Contra Costa County, hopefully in the near future. And we need to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So Abuelita's House, Fire Spice. Those are some great restaurants. One's in Pittsburgh,
Fire
one's in
Spice.
Antioch.
Yeah.
You know, support local. Support local, just like you need to vote local. Supporting local, voting local, it's really, really important.
Stay
Really.
involved. Go to your city council meetings.
Yes.
School board
meetings.
board of
Board.
supervisors.
They know. See, they know.
Mhm.
There's
It's
decisions
important.
being made every day
Mhm.
that a lot of us don't know about. Hardworking people raising their families, going to work, and
You
but
got
that's
no
what we're here
excuse.
for.
Ignorance is
advocate.
not an excuse now.
Raise awareness.
Get involved.
Mm. Yes.
100% organizing. Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And we are done, y'all.
All right. Good night, everybody.
We did it. Tune in next week.
Mhm.
Wow. I'm not even going to tell you who's going to be on the show next week. Y'all want to know?
It's gonna be good.
It's going to be revealing. And I know, oh my God, I might have said too much right there. Places.
Don't say it.
Surprise.
It's revealing. And then most of you guys already know this. So, yeah, tune in next week. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're on here live. So tune in next week. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. We're going to have a special guest on here. And, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll let you guys say what you need to say real quick. Any events coming up before we say goodbye?
Oh, shoot. Yes. Gosh darn it. We have a lot of, so the surveys and everything we did for the African American Wellness Hub, we have a lot of community forums basically to get feedback on all those surveys that we took and answered. So I know that there is a bunch of different ones coming up. I'm so sorry that I didn't think about this earlier.
Where can they get the information? Is there a page you can follow? I know NAMI Contra Costa is on top of it. Call flyer.
There's the one that's gonna be. There's a Zoom one for Burgess on the 11th. There's one in Concord actually. In person at the Community Youth Center at 2250 Galaxy Court in Concord from 6 to 8 tomorrow. That one's District 4 for Supervisor Ken Carlson. There is District 5's coming up on February the 13th from 7 to 8:30 at Genesis Church, 1800 Woodland Drive in Antioch. And that one is a community cafe. And then there's the Lift Up Contra Costa Community Cafe for the Wellness Hub on Wednesday, February 12th from 6 to 8 at Delta Bay Community Church, 1020 East Tregales Road in Antioch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And then we have, the Law of Poetry. Don't forget about Jose's Law of Poetry.
Yes. You got to have a tuxedo or a red dress, right?
Yes. The men wear black, suited and booted, and the women wear red. And I think I want to say, what day was the date again?
I'm not
You have
sure.
to pull it up.
You can follow Cordon Concepts or Grassroots Poetry, I think.
Yeah.
Or look up what is it? Law of
Poetry.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's actually being advertised.
Yes.
Look, if you go on Facebook, you're gonna see it no matter what.
hmm
I was trying to see if I could find it really quick.
Also, in honor of always Black History's American History Month, we're gonna keep talking about it beyond February. We'll talk because it's every day.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, here it is. Law
February 15th, the law
of
of poetry.
poetry and war. So it says the 2 complimentary drinks, 3-course tasting, live music, poetry, exclusive upscale event for poetry connoisseurs. And it is, why doesn't it say? February the 15th. I was right. It is February the 15th at 6 p.m.
Mm.
So
Good
yeah,
evening.
that's it.
Yeah.
I ain't got no tuxedo, but I can get a shirt that looks like a tuxedo on it.
I like that.
That count? That don't count, huh? That's so 80s. Let me shut up.
No.
I just
Hey,
get that
you
big-
gotta do what you gotta do. Everybody don't have money to have a tuxedo. So
Right.
hey.
Let's fundraise. Fundraise for a tuxedo.
Mhm.
That's a lot of thread for me though. That's all right. Because
He's so
I'm 315. Shoot. Yeah, that's okay.
Mm.
Yeah, the fundraise.
Oh, more to love. More to
all you.
love. We love you, Don Carlos.
I
Absolutely.
love you guys too. And all you guys out there, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. We went over too.
Love you.
And Righteous Seeking Warrior.
Good
Thanks for tuning in.
evening.
Evening. We're just about to go. So tune in. Look at
Watch
come
the
next
replay.
week.
Listen to us on your next commute.
Yes. And next week, make sure you guys trust me. Tell people it's I can't revealing.
Don't
Okay?
say it.
Billion-dollar company.
Special guest.
Billion-dollar
We love our
company.
people. We love you too.
Love you too, Rena.
Sorry. I did a heck of fast song. Let me put it there.
Aw.
Mhm.
People all across the bay.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Oh, wait, one more. Wait. Sauce.
Yes.
Thank you, Righteous Seeking Warrior. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We're out, and we'll see you next week.
Keep organizing. Keep protesting, y'all. Don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.